Hello, and I'd like to introduce everyone today to one of my favorite love stories. I originally was just going to review these liquid eyeshadows down here because I bought these most recently during the Black Friday sales, but I thought along with it, since I already had the palette, I would also do a little short review on the Carnival palette. This is the BPerfect and Stacey Marie Carnival IV, the Antidote palette, along with the liquid eyeshadows that came with this collection. I absolutely fell in love with this palette, and so I'm going to start with a little short review of this because I've actually had this palette for the past 2 years. I've had this palette for the past 2 years. I don't think it's going to swatch as well as it did 2 years ago, but I can absolutely tell you this is still one of my favorite palettes in my entire collection. So let me do a little talk about this one first, and then we shall look into these gorgeous liquid eyeshadows. So of course, here we have, this is the box, this is the outside. On the back, you can see this huge palette that we're working with. You can see all these colors right here. There are 45 colors in this palette. And I remember a lot of people kind of being excited for this palette because of the color story, but a lot of people not picking it up because the overwhelming amount of shades in this palette. She's a big girl, but I loved this palette. I love this palette. I got this palette on sale for $27.90. You can no longer find it on the BPerfect website, I believe, but if you go onto Beauty Bay, you can find it currently for $22.35, and that's a bit cheaper than what I got it 2 years ago. This is the palette where I'm looking at the website right now, and I'm considering buying a second one because I cannot imagine my beauty life without this palette. I absolutely adore this palette. If you asked me to pull out some of my favorite palettes in my entire collection, this would be one of the ones that I pulled out. I absolutely had so much fun using this palette. I think the shimmers in here were extraordinary. I loved the pigments of the mattes in this. It was just absolutely gorgeous. I loved using this palette, and I know for a lot of people, using this palette is going to be incredibly overwhelming and they're not going to know where to start. But I had an amazing time using the Stacey Marie Carnival IV, the Antidote palette. This is, okay, so as you can see, there is a mirror in here. There's this little paper right here, and it just says Carnival, the Antidote. This is a fall lover's dream. An absolute freaking dream. I think I've used every single shade in this palette. Like, this is freaking gorgeous. You have these 3 rows over here, right? Very orange. It's getting very burgundy, very brown, very fall. You have these 3 rows right here that are very neutral. You've got some pinks, you got some light browns, some nice light shimmery shades, a light gold up here. This is like your nice little neutral row right here. And then you have this last 3 rows over here. They're green. I love green. I love green so much. I love the orange and the green and the neutrals here in the middle. They're just absolutely gorgeous, so pretty. I adore this palette. So again, as a reminder, I bought this palette 2 years ago. I did some swatches recently, and it's definitely a bit more flaky. It's gotten flaky as it's, sat there in my collection. So I do still want to swatch some of these shades, just because even though they are a little flaky now, she's a little flaky girl a little bit, I think the shimmers in here are still gorgeous. I think they're still beautiful. This has been sitting in my collection the past 2 years. There's no, there's no mold, there's no grease stains. It's sat there patiently waiting. Of course, again, I'm letting y'all know that there was a little bit of change in the formula because it is now a bit of an older palette, but I still love her. I still want to use her. She's so pretty. Some of the shades that I want to swatch in here, oh god, okay, maybe I should just do 4. I don't want to do all of them. I want to make this really quick. I just wanted to mention this palette because I absolutely love this palette, and this palette goes with the liquid eyeshadows. So I really do want to swatch Venom. I remember Venom being one of my absolute favorite shimmers in here. I want to swatch Cutie Pie because I remember being so incredibly taken back by Cutie Pie. I thought Cutie Pie was gorge. I remember being taken back by Sugar Maple. Got that Sugar Maple over here. And then I think I want to do, should I do Granite or Grunge? Maybe it was Granite. Let's go with, let's go with Grunge. This is Grunge. And I can definitely feel, they're so soft. This one is definitely giving flaky, but that's why I kind of ended up choosing it. These are the shades right there. Got a pink, a light green with a gold reflect. You have an orange over here, and a dark mossy green with a kind of gold reflect. I think, if I recall well, these were my favorite colors in the entire collection. So let's swatch them. So you got this pink one over here. This is Cutie Pie. And there's that flaking that I'm talking about. But the good thing is, you can take those flakes, like there's the flake, right? You can see the flake. You can still rub it in, get it to work. Let's remove that flake right there. Again, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but this is a older palette. But regardless of this being an older palette, that's a one finger swatch. That is so gorgeous. I see some more flakes coming off of this one. That is a one finger swatch. Let's see if we can bring in these flakies. Here's the orange one, and I think these are all going to be quite flaky. Okay. And I think all you gotta do is blow off the flakes for this one, because it is an old, mine is an older palette, but I still love these shades. Once you blow off the flakes, there's still color underneath. So you can see there that because my palette's older, you can see the flakies there, but let's blow them off. As you can see there, I just blew off the flakes. I didn't go in my palette again. And these are still gorgeous. These are still beautiful. Look at how they shine in the light. I love these. I adore these. Good God. I think I'll swatch maybe just 3 of the mattes. I don't remember having any issues with the mattes. They were all so gorgeous. I'm going to do Sweet Cheeks, this brown pecan, and then this dark green shade over here called Antidote. And they are very pigmented. They are pigmented, okay? Let's go over here. I haven't used these in a while, so we'll see how they appear, but they are quite blendable. I remember loving building these up. Look how nice and dark that's got in. Go over here, pecan. So gorgeous. And I don't think this being an older palette, particularly, you know, and you guys can see me here building up these colors, but I've had this palette for the past 2 years, and I really love still how beautiful these colors are. Just absolutely gorgeous, and I just wanted to share this with y'all because I love this palette, and this palette may not be available for much longer. I know this can be very overwhelming to someone, but I think this also makes a great gift. This is absolutely essential for fall. This is such a fall palette. This is a fall lover's palette. I think if you went on a vacation, you could have this for an entire month and never need to use anything else. This is absolutely gorgeous. I cannot recommend this palette enough. I'm actually thinking about, like, if anything happened to this palette, I would look to replace this palette. I'm sure that I have other palettes with greens and, you know, and oranges in it, but it's not necessarily about the color. It is the formula. I freaking love the formula. Again. I know I'm repetitive. I'm repeating myself. This palette is older. I've had it for the past 2 years. It was on sale then, 2 years ago, so I can only imagine it might have also, you know, been getting close to shelf life where they need to try and get rid of it. Maybe it wasn't selling well. I don't know. But this was on sale 2 years ago, and it's still on sale now and still available. So if this is something that interests you, girl, just get it. It's $22 right now. It retailed for $44.75. This is on sale right now. If this catches your eye, you have to get it now, because after that, you're only going to find it from resellers. So I absolutely recommend this palette. I love the shades in here. This is one of those palettes where I knew I could do any look and none of these shades or colors are going to let me down. I absolutely adore this palette. Okay, so now these are the liquid eyeshadows that go with that collection. I got these around the Black Friday time, you know, in November, and I got these each for $2.85. I was so happy. I was so excited because on the website you can see that these usually sell for $15 each liquid eyeshadow. Each liquid eyeshadow is $15 on the website. I was like, oh hell no. So when I saw these on sale for $2.85 each, I was like, absolutely, what a freaking sale, let's go. I had originally just had grabbed, I believe it was Honey. Grabbed the Honey shade. It's gonna be this one. I grabbed Honey. Honey was the first one that I bought. I think I might have gotten it for $5 or $6 because it was also on sale then, but it was not that discounted. And I had bought one just to try it, and I quite liked it. So when I saw during Black Friday time that these were off for $2.85, I definitely grabbed the whole collection. I was like, might as well. And then come Black Friday, it is a true Black Friday sale. It was insane. I think they were selling these liquid eyeshadows for like 13 or 17 cents. Cents, mama. Cents. you could have gotten all 6 for like less than $3 or something. It was, what, less than $2. I don't even, it was so much less. It was like $1.50. I don't even remember the exact pennies they were selling these for, but it was crazy. I'm like, I wish I would have waited a little bit longer for actual Black Friday, that Black Friday day, because I bought these a few days before, because there were already sales going on all month long, and I was afraid they were going to sell out. It didn't sell out, but I missed out on an amazing Black Friday sale. That was insane. So I bought all of these. These are the box they come in. The shade is kind of on top. It doesn't necessarily totally match, and the name is actually really tiny. It's on the bottom. These are all from this collection. These are all the boxes, and I'm going to, these are, here we go. These are the shades, and of course they match. Same kind of vibe, the same kind of fall. It's just giving fall, giving Thanksgiving. It's giving October, November, end of September. These are gorge. As mentioned, I received Honey first. Honey's the first one that I bought. So I tried this one first, and I am quite new to a lot of this makeup stuff. I didn't really get interested in makeup until during the pandemic. So liquid eyeshadows are new to me. But this is Honey. I found this quite easy to use, and I liked it. I thought it was pretty. Not anything super stunner, but I did like it. I think it's gorgeous. Look at that. I think it's very pretty. So, because y'all know I love yellow, and what else is yellow? Gold. I love yellow gold. So I thought this was really pretty, and that's when I decided to get the other 5. Now, I feel like it took me a while to figure out how I felt about these, and ultimately I came to the conclusion that maybe these aren't performing the best because they are kind of on their way out. Look at, let's see if we can capture it on camera. Look at the way that it looks inside the bottle. It's like separated within it, and you can give it a good shake, but let's watch me stir it. Like, it's starting to kind of dry out a little bit. You can see that it's not really filling the bottle maybe the way it should. I think this is Venom. So like I said, the first one that I have here on my hand, that's Honey. This is Venom. I think this one looks like it's the oldest shade out of the 5 that I received. I didn't have any issues in terms of like it irritating my skin. I don't think, as far as I know, it didn't do anything bad to my skin, but I can see from the formula inside the bottle that it's kind of on its way out. So I think that's why these are so cheap. I'm guessing they weren't very popular with those who got the collection, because this collection didn't seem to be too popular. Like, look up there. Do you see how the formula is kind of like, it's becoming less, right? Like, look at these other 3. These other 3 you can see are like, they look like they've filled the bottle. This is like, let's give this a good mix. Yeah, I'm always trying to give these a good mix. This is the shade Elixir. I don't know if these would have stayed longer or performed better if they were newer, but I don't see these being replaced anytime soon. But I can definitely tell that 2 of them seem to be quite on the older side. I think this red here, this is Pinup. This is a red. I think this one is performed as good as Honey. To me, Pinup and Honey performed the best on my eye. It looked really gorgeous. I think it lasted a good amount too. I think Venom and this brown one called Elixir didn't last as long as they needed to, but I think that's because, again, this isn't, I think these are on their way out. So that's Pinup. We have these last 2. We have this, they're kind of in the same, like a light orange and a darker orange. So the lighter orange is called Sugar Maple, the darker orange is called Brass, and I think both of these performed kind of in the middle. Not as well as Honey and Pinup, but not as bad as Elixir and Venom. They don't, especially in the bottle, they don't look as old and as separated as Elixir and Venom. So these might last a little longer. Okay, so this lighter one, this is Brass. No, this is Sugar Maple. This lighter one is Sugar Maple. The orange one is Brass. So this one is Brass. By themselves, I didn't have any issue if they were the only liquid eyeshadow on my eye. I tried to mix them, like put 2 on my eye at the same time, and they were not having it. And so I don't know if that's because that's just the way that this formula is, or if it's because it's older, they're not going to mix anymore. I felt like I did have some difficulty if I wanted to blend it out with my brush. It would just start to kind of leave my eyeshadow patchy. So I couldn't blend it out with my brush. I tried the best I could with using the little applicator that's part of this, but I couldn't really blend it out with a blush. With a brush. All I could do was hide it, like apply this and then go over it and kind of blend out with a different color on top. I did the liquid eyeshadows on my inner corner, and then I would blend out my outer corner with one of these beautiful shimmery shades, and that looked really gorgeous. That looked really well. So I think the liquid eyeshadows with this shimmer formula worked very well. But I wouldn't say these are... I haven't tried enough liquid eyeshadows. I just got into liquid eyeshadows, and yes, there will be a video featuring Jeffree Star liquid eyeshadows. That's the only reason I got into liquid eyeshadows. I really like the Jeffree Star formula, so I thought I would try liquid eyeshadows from other brands as well. And like before, I can't totally give this a review because I'm not super familiar with liquid eyeshadows and how they should perform. What I can say as someone who is new to liquid eyeshadows and just tried liquid eyeshadows recently in the past few months, I definitely feel that my experience was dependent on the fact that a lot of these shades are kind of on their way out, so I can't fully give this a good or bad review. I can just say, as someone who's new to using liquid eyeshadows, that for the BPerfect, Stacey Marie, the Antidote liquid eyeshadows, I could try to work with them as I could. They're all metallic. If I wanted to struggle a little bit, I could. I think the honey and the pinup worked the best. I think Elixir and Venom were the oldest ones that I received, so I'm going to guess that these two are the least popular, because I think these two over here, the maple sugar and the brass, are in the middle. I don't think they work as well as the honey one and the pinup one, but they're not so much closer to expiration as these two over here. So I'm going to keep them for a little longer. I don't know if I want to give them away yet, and I might keep them to the point where it's finally time to toss them. I don't know if I would even want to give these away. I will say, these three over here have dried. Watch this. When they're on there, they are on there. Look at that. Got some glitter off, but not the color. They're on there, right? Like, so that's good. That's a plus. But that is my suggestion and info on these. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do think this collection is an autumn lover's dream. I would like to hear more reviews on these liquid eyeshadows. I'm still pretty new to liquid makeup, especially, but just the makeup and beauty scene in general. I absolutely love this palette. Again, if this catches your eye, go get it. Go get it now before it's gone forever. But thank you again if you've stayed this long. You'll have a great day.